Hi guys, happy Monday. Today we're going to be starting our brand new topic, topic 14. And this is your assignment for today. So I just want to go through it with you. The topic is very short. It's only like 3 or 4 lessons, and we're only going to be doing 3 of them. So we're going to finish up this week and we're going to test next week. I'm thinking on Tuesday. For all of our guided notes throughout this entire topic, we're going to be using our math workbook. So you don't need to print anything else out. Everything should be right there in your math workbook. But we are going to be using almost all of the pages. So definitely have that handy at every live session and or any video session that you're attending. So the workbook pages start on page 729. And I just love patterns, don't you? It's actually a fun lesson. So here's what you need to do today. Number 1, you need to watch the teaching video below or join me live on Zoom at 9 a.m. And you're already watching the video, so that's great. Then you're going to be watching a quick number sequencing video that is right here. It's only 3 minutes long, so you're going to do that. And then your work for today, your independent practice, is the Pearson Realized Quick Check for lesson 14.1. There's 5 problems. And then you're going to go on to Splash On. You guys remember Splash Math? We went on it in school here and there. And I found a really great activity that matches up really closely with the work that we're doing in this topic. So I'd like you to try that. You're going to, it changed its name, I think. Splash Learn is what they call it now. But it's the same exact login instructions as we used to use, but I'm thinking it's been so long that you probably don't remember. So here is how you do it. You're going to go down here and you're going to click on the directions for Splash Learn and they'll come up. And if you follow these directions, you will be able to log on with no problem. And there are a lot of directions. You have to read every single thing. I'm just trying to get it bigger for you. Okay, so you're going to go to splashlearn.com. You're going to click the sign in button. It's in the upper right hand corner, so it'll be up here, sign in. And then it's going to ask you, are you playing in class or at home? Now, I know you're playing at home right now, but I want you to click class, okay? Click class, and then you're going to enter our class code, which is this, JSGDTI, all capital letters. Then you'll see your name pop up along with a little character that you had selected previously. You're going to enter your password and you find your password. There's a PDF doc that I attached. So find your password and then you'll see assignments come up and it's going to be at the bottom of your assignments that have been assigned. Don't worry about any of the other assignments. Don't worry, you didn't have to do them. But this is the one that I'm looking for. Oops, sorry. It's called Number Patterns. And that's the one that I want you to select for today. Okay, so here's the passwords, and that's all you have to do today. And if you're Addison and you're watching this video, I kind of tested it out using Addison's account, so it will say resume after you log in instead of start. All right, so let's get started for today. Please pause this video, go and grab your math workbook. We are starting with topic 14, which is actually algebra, guys. We're going to be generating and analyzing patterns. And we're going to see how can we use rules, right? I'm going to circle the word rules here. Oh, by the way, I'm on page 729. In case you're wondering where I'm at. You should be doing the same things that I'm doing. So how can we use a rule to continue a pattern? All right, so continue a pattern. And then we're also going to be exploring the question, how can we use a table, circle the word table, to extend a pattern? And finally, we're going to be thinking about the question, how can we use a repeating pattern to predict a shape in a series of shapes? So they'll give us a bunch of shapes. They'll say, what would be the 49th shape or what would be the 22nd shape? And we're actually going to be able to predict what it will be. Super fun. All right, please turn this page over now. I want to take a quick look at the review what you know. We're not going to do any vocabulary necessarily for this topic. I do have it somewhere. Where is it? This is the vocabulary sheet. There's only two words, rule and repeating pattern. And I think that you guys probably get that without even talking about it. However, there are some things that we want to review for this topic that you may forget what they are. Do you guys remember these two words? All right, factor and multiple. Right, we did this stuff when we were in school and we talked about the difference between a factor and a multiple. And this is going to come up in this topic once again. So it's really important for you to clearly understand what the difference is. So, factors are few. Remember that we talked about that? Factors are few, multiples are many. And we said that the first letter kind of gives us a hint as to that. We also remember that when we're talking about factors, do you remember how we use parentheses, right? Like that. So if we were going to factor, let's say the number 24, right? You'd say to yourself, what times what equals 24? We always want to start with 1. So we have 1 times 24 would equal 24, right? Is there anything times 2 that equals 24? Oh, yeah, 12. So 2 and 12 are factors of 24. Anything times 3 that equals 24? Oh, yeah, 3 times 8, right? I call 24 Miss Popularity. Anything times 4, right? I'm just going in order. Anything times 4 that equals 24? Oh, yeah, 4 times 6, right? Anything times 5 that equals 24? Nope. And then anything times 6, we already have a 6 here, so we know we're done. We know we're done factoring a number when we repeat or we hit one of those double facts, right? All right, and now let's talk about multiples, just to refresh your memory. Remember, multiples are when you just multiply a number. Multiples are many, meaning they can go on and on and on and on. So if I were going to find the multiples of, let's do 7, right? Multiples of 7, what would they be? Well, 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 5 is 35, and on and on and on, dot, 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 right? So we can keep, with multiples, they really never end. We could keep giving multiples. Another word that we're going to be learning about in this topic is the word feature. I'd like you to write that on the top of your page somewhere. Feature. And a feature is just an attribute that something has. Like one of your features might be that you have brown hair, or one of your features might be that you have blue eyes, or that you have a long nose, or that you have freckles, right? So features are information about something that you're seeing, little details, right? Little attributes. So we're going to be examining features of number patterns. Are they all odd? Are they even? Do they alternate between odd and even? Are they all multiples of 3? Those kinds of things. All right, let's get started with some vocabulary. A blank can be divided into 2 groups of 2 without a remainder. So is that an even number, an odd number, inverse operations, or a variable? Remember, a variable is what, like a letter that stands for a number. Inverse operations is like that opposite operation, like to add, to check addition, you might subtract. To check subtraction, you might add, right? Multiplication, you might divide instead because they're opposites. I know an even number are numbers like 2, 4, 6, 8, right? And odd numbers are numbers like 3, right? 9, those kinds of numbers. All right, let's see. So what can be divided into groups of 2 without a remainder? Oh, well, that would be an even number. Okay, how about a symbol or letter that stands for a number? Oh, that's a variable. Fill this in on your paper. Operations that undo each other are called inverse operations. All right. Now we're going to actually explore some patterns. And these are patterns that you guys have done in 3rd grade, or you should have done in 3rd grade anyway. You might have even explored patterns in 2nd grade. Let's take a look. It'll all come back to you. So we can add and subtract with patterns. And let's see, to find a pattern in a number, you just have to look at it, right? And you really have to go slowly. It's not going to come to you right away. You might have to do a little digging, but you really have to analyze it, right? So let's see. We have a 3, a 6, a 9, a 12. I don't know. So 3, how am I going from 3 to 6, right? I'm adding 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. Then to get to 6, from 6 to 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, oh, I'm adding 3 again, right? And then from 9 to 12, I'm adding 3 again. So my pattern here, I'm just going to write it on the side, is, or my rule is plus 3, right? My rule is plus 3. And so 12 plus 3 would be 15. So 15 would be that answer. Let's take a look at number 5. We're going from 4 to 8 to 12. So, we know we're adding and subtracting. How do we get from 4 to 8? Oh, plus 4, right? And then 8 to 12, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, that's plus 4 too. So we know that plus 4 is our rule. So 12 plus 4 would be 16. Excellent. All right, let's go on. So we have 8, 7, 6. Ooh, we're going down here, right? And we're actually going down by 1. So our rule is going to be subtract 1, and a 5 will be in our blank spot. Over here for number 7, I'm also noticing we're going down, and we're going down by 5. So our rule is minus 5, and this number should be a 10. Okay, 1, 5, 9, so we're going up, so it's going to be an adding rule. And what are we going up by? Well, 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. So 9 plus 4 would be 13. Our rule was plus 4. 12, 10, 8, 6. Going down. We're going down by 2, right? 12 minus 2 is 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. So 6 minus 2 would be 4. Our rule is minus 2. You don't really have to write the rule. I just like to write it. All right. And then we move on to multiplication and division patterns, right? So we know we're either multiplying here or dividing. We know that when we multiply, numbers get bigger. And when we divide, numbers get smaller. So that's going to be helpful for us to know. So we're going 1. How do we go from a 1 to a 3? And then a 3 to a 9? I know I'm multiplying. I'm not adding here because it tells me I'm multiplying. So I think it's multiply by 3, right? 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And then what would 27 times 3 be? Well, you might actually have to do a little math to the side because you might not know that off the top of your head. And I get 81. So 81 is my answer. Let's go to 11. So we have 64, 32, 16. It looks to me like the numbers are getting smaller, which means I'm going to be doing some division, right? Now, when doing division, if you take a look at the numbers in the beginning of the pattern, you're going to notice that they're oftentimes pretty big, like a 64 and a 32 are pretty big numbers. I don't like thinking in terms of big numbers. So instead, I'm going to use inverse operations. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to go backwards in this problem and start at the end and work backwards. And since I'm going backwards, I have to do inverse operations. So now I need to think in terms of multiplication, right? My rule is still going to be division. That's my rule, divide by something. But I need to figure out what that something is. So I'm going to use multiplication to help me do that. I'm going to start at the bottom of 2, and I'm going to say, how did I get from a 2 to a 4 if I went backwards? Well, 2 times 2 is 4, and then 4 times 2 would be 8. 8 times 2 would be 16. Hey, yeah, that works. So 2 is my number answer here for my rule. But technically, this is a division pattern, so it's divide by 2 is my rule. And so I would have an 8 sitting right there. For our next pattern, we have 1, 5, 25. Let's see, I think this might be a multiply by 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. And if you didn't know that, you could just do a little doot, doot, doot. Oops, sorry. Right, 25, 10, 11, 12. There you go. 1, 2, 4, 8. I notice a lot of even numbers here in this pattern. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Our rule was times 2. Right, we have number 14. We have 1, 4, 16. Well, 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. What's 16 times 4? 4 times 6. Oh, 64. Okay, so we had a times 4 rule there. And finally, these are big numbers again. I don't like big numbers. It looks like they're going down, so we know this is going to be a division. But what are we dividing by? Right? What are we dividing by? Well, let's see. Let's take two numbers low in our pattern. We're going to work backwards. How did we get from a 9 to a 27? Well, I know 9 times 3 is 27, right? How about, let's see if this keeps working. 27 to 81. So if my rule of times 3 is right, then 27 times 3 should give me 81. Let's try it. Yep, it does. So this pattern is going to be divide by 3, because remember, I was working backwards, so I have to switch it. To get from 729 to 243, we're dividing by 3. I just don't feel like doing all that hard work. So our number here would be a 3, right? 9 divided by 3 is 3. All right. Finally, we have a problem-solving problem at the bottom. And it says, James places 1 counter in the first box. He places 2 counters in the second box, 4 counters in the third box, and 8 counters in the fourth box. And sometimes it's nice to label your boxes. So that's box 1, box 2. Okay. So it's asking us, the pattern continues until he gets to the 10th box. How many counters did James place in the 10th box? Right, so the first step to a problem like this is noticing what the pattern is, right? So I go from a 1 to a 2, and then a 2 to a 4, and then a 4 to an 8. It seems to me it's multiplying by 2, right? Now, at first I might think, oh, it's adding 2. So 1 plus, or adding 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. That works for the first one. 2 plus 1 would be 3, though. And I don't have 3, I have 4. So let's try multiplying 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 would be 8. 8 times 2 would be, and we know it's 16. We could draw 16 dots, but I'm going to take a shortcut. I'm actually going to just write the number 16. There's 16 dots. And then to get to the next box, I have to multiply by 2 again. What's 16 times 2? Oh, that's 32. What's 32 times 2? That's 64. What's 64 times 2? Right, we're doing times 2 for all of these. 64 times 2 is 128, I think, right? And 128 times 2, and this is where I can't do mental math anymore, so we do it down below. 128 times 2, 16, 4 plus 1 is 5, 256. And finally, 256 times 2, and I can't do that in my head either. And did you get the same thing I got? If you did, you are correct. 512. Right? So this was simply noticing the pattern and then just filling out the rest of the steps to find it. Okay. Whew. All right, you would think we would be done with our guided lesson for today, but we are not. This topic is meaty, so we need to keep going, guys, but I think it's going to be smooth sailing from here. All right, we're going to do the solve and share together really quickly. Here's what you need to do. Look at the rules and starting numbers below. What are the next 6 numbers in each pattern? Tell how you decided. This is the part that's really important. Describe features of the patterns. All right, so we are given a table. This is called a table. And they give us a starting number and they tell us what the rule is going to be. And we have to figure out what the next 6 numbers are. So not too bad, right? So let's try that. If we start with 18 and add 3, right, what would the next few numbers be? Okay, well, 18 plus 3 is going to be 21, right? So that's 1. The next 6 numbers actually we need, right? And then 21 plus 3 would be 24. 24 plus 3, count up using your fingers if you need to, 24, 25, 26, 27. 27 plus 3, plus another 3, that's an easy one, plus another 3. Let me see, do I have 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. All right, so in our first pattern, what is a feature that we notice? And to tell what the feature is, we need to just look at it. Let's look at our pattern. 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. And to find if a number is odd or even, we're going to look at the number in the ones place. So we have a 1, a 4, a 7. So odd, even, odd, 0, 3, and a 6. So it looks to me like it's a mixture of odd and even, right? So I can put that odd and even. And I also noticed something else. I'm noticing that all of these numbers are multiples of 3. Do you see that? Right? 3 times something equals all of these numbers. Like 3 times 7 would give me 21. Right? 3 times 9 would give me 27. 8 times 3 would give me 24, right? All 3 times 10 would give me 30. So pretty cool. So they're all multiples of 3. So those are some features of that pattern. All right. If I'm just going to quickly go through these other 2, right? If the next pattern is add 2, it would be something like this. We start with 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and there you go, right? In our second pattern, what would be a feature, right? What do we notice about all of these numbers? Oh, wow, look at this. They're all odd, right? They all have in that ones place an odd number. So they're all odd. All right, and quickly for the last pattern, we're going to be subtracting 4. Subtracting is sometimes a little bit trickier. But if we start at a 40 and we subtract 4, we're going to get 36, 32, 28, 24, 20, and 16. I want you to look at those. What do you notice about this pattern? What are some features about this pattern? And write it down. Did you write down that they're all even? Good job. They are all even. There's also one more feature. They're all multiples of the same number. Can you guess what number? You got it. They're all multiples of 4. Pretty cool. All right. We're going to move on. This is the, we're just going to go over this really quickly. It says the house numbers on a street follow the rule add 4. If the pattern continues, what are the next 3 house numbers? Describe a feature of the pattern. So here's the houses, and we're going to add 4, right? So I like to draw my little leap, right? If we want to do it like that, we're going to add 4, add 4. So 16 plus 4, right? Kind of like down here. is going to get us to 20. 20 plus 4 will get us to 24. And 24 plus 4 will get us to 28. So the next three house numbers are 20, 24, and 28. The second part of this problem asks us to describe the features of the pattern. Now, some patterns have features that are not given in the rule, right? We get them by just looking at the pattern. So one of the features of this pattern is that they're all of the house numbers are even numbers, right? 16, 20, 24, 28 are all even numbers. They're also all multiples of 4, right? So you could have more than one feature. Now we're going to move on, just a few more problems. Let's take a look. Maybe we should do the, yeah, that's right. We'll do this page. We're just going to do the independent practice of this page down here. And if we were in school, you'd be doing this on your own. So right now, if you're watching this video, which you are, I want you to stop, pause the video, and actually complete this completely on your own. No help. Don't be listening to my voice on the video. Pause me. And then come back, fast forward, and get the answers and see how you did. I'm leaving this page, the homework page. This is another resource for you to use to study. So if it's not assigned today, but if I were you, right before the test, you can go back and then do that page for some work. All right, so you should have me paused. Pause me. Bye. All right, so hopefully you're not even listening to this right now. But I'm going to explain myself just in case you had problems with anything. This would be the answers that you need to get. All right, so we are subtracting 3. So you should have a 12 and a 9. And a feature of this pattern is going to be multiples of 3, right? They're all multiples of 3. Let's take a look at this one. So we're adding 7. That's our rule. And so we should have 25 and a 32, right, if we're adding 7. And a feature of this pattern, let's see, we notice that it alternates odd and even. All right, let's go down. So our next one is add 5. So that's our rule, add 5. So 5, 10, 15. Oh, this is an easy one. 20, 25, right? We learned how to skip count when we were in like first or second grade. That's a pattern. And what is a rule? Oh, they're all multiples of 5. This next one, our rule is add 2. So we have 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. And what is our feature? One of the features is that they are all odd numbers. All right. For the below, we are given a rule and we need to figure out the rest of the problems. So subtract 10. So be 90, 80, 70. Add 11. We have 16 plus 11 would be 27. 27 plus 11 is 38. Add 5. 96 plus 5 is 101, I think. And then 101 plus 5 is 106. We're adding 4. 43 plus 4 would be 47. 47 plus 4 is 51. I know I'm moving fast, but you should already have this all done. And subtract 15. 120 minus 15 is 105. 105 minus 15 is 90. And subtract 9. 99 minus 9 is 90. 90 minus 9 is 81. And if I made any mistakes on any of this, I'm sure someone will correct me. All right, guys, we are stopping there for today. Again, your homework or your work for today is to do 2 things. You're going to go do the quick check for this lesson, and you're going to go on Splash Learn and do that activity. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. If you haven't joined me on Zoom, I really, really would love to see your face. I know 9 o'clock is early for some of you, but especially next week when we do the live review lessons, try if you can to jump on. All right, guys, see you soon.